What if, and I know this might sound kind of out there, but what if instead of just using AI to build stuff, we could actually like build AI itself differently, completely change the game? That's kind of the crazy idea we're going to be digging into today.
Yeah, it's a big one for sure. And this paper, Bittensor, a peer-to-peer intelligence market, it really jumps right in, doesn't it?
Right into the deep end. Okay, so Yuma Rao, the author, they're talking about a future where, hold on to your hats, folks, we're not just training AI for specific jobs, we're actually growing a whole ecosystem of intelligence.
Exactly. Think of it maybe like a stock market. But instead of companies, you've got algorithms being traded, right? And
Okay.
it's not some executive deciding their worth, but their actual contribution to a shared kind of intelligence. Wild stuff.
Wait, okay, a stock market for AI. Now you've got me hooked.
Hmm.
But how do you even make that happen?
Yeah.
We're talking about lines of code here, not like actual products.
That's where this whole peer-to-peer thing comes in. So in Bittensor, the AI models, they call them peers, they're constantly sizing each other up,
And each
basically.
other up.
Yeah, looking at what the others are putting out, the insights, how much they're contributing to the whole network's intelligence, and they assign value based on that.
So it's like this massive interconnected, I don't know, web of AI,
Mm,
all constantly learning from each other and what, judging each other too.
kind of, yeah. And get this, the currency in all this, it's called stake. The more valuable an AI's insights, the more of the stake they get.
Hold on. So the more stake you have, it's like your vote counts for more in this AI world.
You got it. And it pushes everyone to make AI that's not just good at one thing, but can learn, adapt, be useful across the board.
Okay, now I see how this could really shake things up in the AI world. But, and I got to ask, what about, algorithmic bias? If it's just AI judging AI, couldn't we end up with the same problems we're trying to get rid of?
You're right to bring that up. I mean, anything designed by humans can end up reflecting our own biases, right? It's a tricky one.
So how does Bittensor deal with that then?
Well, it tries to sidestep that whole issue by not relying on a single source of truth. There's no one authority calling the shots. Instead, the evaluations spread out across the whole network. Every peer weighs in.
So like a checks and balances kind of thing. No single AI or even a small group can just rig the system.
Right. And that distributed approach, that's at the core of Bittensor. It's about building a system that's more, well, democratic, hopefully fairer, when it
Right.
comes to judging AI's intelligence.
Makes sense. But let's get into the nitty-gritty here. You said AI models get stake for their contributions,
Yeah.
but what does that actually look like? How do you compare these AIs? Some are crunching numbers, others are like writing poems. How do you even measure that?
That's where it gets really cool. So picture this. You're this AI, right, plugged into Bittensor, and you got to figure out who to trust, who to learn from. It's like being the new kid in school.
Okay, I'm getting that. I'm the AI newbie, got to prove myself in this massive network. Who do I turn to?
Well, you'd start looking at what other AI are up to, the problems they're tackling, but here's the thing. You're not just passively absorbing info, you're actively judging it.
So it's not enough to just trust an AI because it seems smart. I got to actually critique their work. Kind of like peer review, but for AI.
Exactly. And that assessment, your judgment of their intelligence, that directly affects the stake.
Let me guess. If I'm good at spotting the promising AI early on, my own stake grows faster. Kind of like, I don't know, investing.
Bingo. You're basically betting on the future success of other AI models. High risk, high reward, the whole shebang.
Okay, so there's a real incentive to be a good judge of AI talent. But hold on, how does the actual measurement work? I mean, you've got AI doing totally different things. How do you compare like an AI writing poetry to one analyzing financial data?
That's the other cool part. Bittensor, it uses this thing called tensor standardization.
Sounds fancy. What is that in plain English?
Think of it as a universal language for AI. It lets all these different AI models understand each other's data and outputs, even if they're like specialists in totally different areas.
So no more AI Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
They can actually communicate and work together no matter what they're good at.
That's the idea. But even with everyone speaking the same language, think about it. Managing the information flow in a network that huge, talk about data overload.
Right. We don't want our AI bogged down with too much information. They
Yeah.
need to be efficient. So how does Bittensor deal with that?
That's where conditional computation enters the picture. It's basically AI learning to be picky about who they talk to and what information they share. Like they're not shouting out to the entire network for every little thing.
So instead of a free-for-all, they're having more focused conversations with just the AI that are relevant at that moment.
Exactly. It's like having access to the knowledge of a million experts, but instead of getting bombarded, you can instantly connect with just the right ones for your specific needs.
Pretty powerful stuff, right?
This is really making my brain spin, you know? It's like this whole intricate dance of information and evaluation, all these AIs learning and growing together. It's wild.
It's a pretty mind-blowing concept. And this whole thing, this collaborative, decentralized way of developing AI, it could really shake things up.
That's what I want to get into. We've talked about how it works, but what's the big picture? Like, if Bittensor actually worked, how would it change the AI game?
Well, for starters, it could totally change the kind of AI we're building.
Right now, we're mostly focused on AI that's really good at one specific thing. You know, playing Go, generating those hyper-realistic images, that sort of thing. But Bittensor, it rewards AI that's more adaptable, more well-rounded.
So instead of having all these little islands of AI expertise, we could have AI that can connect the dots, pull insights from different areas, solve all sorts of problems.
Exactly. It's about moving away from narrow AI and towards a more general intelligence. AI that's not just a one-trick pony, but can learn and roll with the punches, you know?
Okay, that makes sense. But let's bring it back down to earth for a minute.
Mm.
What would this actually look like in the real world?
The possibilities, oh, they're endless. Imagine medical diagnosis, but it's powered by AI, right? But not just one, but drawing on the knowledge of thousands of specialized AIs, each one putting in their 2 cents.
So instead of Dr. House, we got Dr. AI, but like a whole team of them.
Exactly. Or think about education, right? Software that can tailor a learning plan just for you, based on your strengths and weaknesses, always adapting as you learn.
No more one-size-fits-all education. It's all personalized. That's huge.
Exactly. And that's not even touching on scientific research. AI could be working hand in hand with scientists, crunching data, testing theories, speeding up discoveries like never before.
So Bittensor isn't just about making AI smarter. It's about making it actually useful, something that can tackle the big challenges we're facing.
100%. It's about using AI to build a better future for everyone.
Well said. Well, folks, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Bittensor. But before we go, I want to leave you with something to chew on. This whole idea of a peer-to-peer intelligence market, it's still early days, but it really gets you thinking, doesn't it? What if we really could create a system where AIs are constantly learning from each other, judging each other, pushing each other to be better? What kind of intelligence could we see then? Something beyond anything we can even imagine. Something that could help us unlock new levels of knowledge and understanding, or maybe even challenge our definition of intelligence itself. It's a question worth pondering as we continue to explore this crazy, ever-evolving world of AI. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those questions coming.